Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dev Lab. In today's lesson, we're diving deep into the world of JavaScript number methods. So, numbers are more than just maths. They're how we validate user inputs, how we control logic and manage calculations across the web. So, understanding number methods will level up your back end and front end coding skills instantly. So, let's jump into it. Let's just create a file for that script.js. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be learning today is how to convert values to numbers. Say a number 1, 2, 3. So this is a string that we just wrote here. So we want to convert this value over here to a string. So let's construct that. So we're constructing number 1. So let's try that. So let's first to see it on our terminal. Node script the our file name. So yeah, as you can see, he converted this value. This is not a number, this is a value, or as you can call it a string. So he just converted this value here to a number. So let's a real life case you can use this is like when users fill a form and you need to convert the string input into a number. For example, converting age or price from a form. So it's just used to converting values to numbers as I said earlier. So let's try returning and passing integers. So for that, let's create another variable. Let integer short form then value because we're passing the integer. We're not going to be passing floats now, we're passing integer. So let's do 42 pixel and let's construct that. So integer value. So let's comment this so it won't show, so you won't get confused. So let's try that. Yeah, as you can see, it just converted only the value because it's looking for the integer, not this pixel. So this can be used when you want to extract numeric values from strings in CSS like this 42 pixel, or user input like 42 pixel like over here, or 150 pixel like that. So you just saw this 42 as an integer and displayed it right here. So yeah, that's it for passing integer. So another one we can try is passing float. Now float in JavaScript is decimal point number. So it's just the same thing here. So let me just drop this down. Yeah, so comment this. So this time I'm passing float. Yeah, then let me change this to the float value. Then change this to decimal number. So let me just say like 3.14 millimeter, 4.4 meter. Then okay, so let's show that. As you can see, 3.14 because it's passing a float. So let's just remove that meter. Yeah, it's used to display it. So let's remove this to see whether it shows an error. 314. But it's not supposed to, it's not, yeah, as you can see, because of it's only 314, it's not a flow. That is why it's passing just that 314. So yeah, that's it for passing float. So let's try another one. Okay, so a place where you can use this is like it's useful in e-commerce apps, that is electronic commerce apps. When passing currency or dimensions like 3.14 meter 1 4 meter. So let's try another method, which is toFixed. Yeah, this is it. So let's try it. So let price be equal to, let's say, 99.99. Then yeah. So then console log. This one just helps us to like go to the required number. So okay, let's just, so price dot to fixed. Then write how many times you want it to stream. So let's try that. It's not supposed to show us. Okay, add one more nine. Yeah, as you can see, it rounded up to two places. One, two. Sorry, one, two. So like this. Then he added. So because of nine is greater than five. So that's why I added it, made it to be 100. So let's try another one. Okay, so there are a lot of these. So okay, let's try this one to string. So let's call equal to let's say 120. Then console log. So this is how we do it. So score to string. Then right, you just leave the bracket like that. So to string is just, it just helps us to convert the number to a string. Sorry. Okay, yeah, so trying to convert this to a string. Yeah. So as we all know, on the terminal, when it's showing this color, like just plain white, that's the string. When why But if it's showing us a number, it's turn yellow. Let's see the difference. So eh, sorry guys. Yeah, so this is a float. So this is just a string. That is why it's showing us like that. But it's converting to a string. That's just the main point. So another a useful place you can use this is like when you want to like add, when you want to like, okay, when you're joining a number with text. Like for example, let's say you want to add this to like your, let's say like your score is 120. So you now want to join all these, it's now become a string. So yeah, that's where this to string just comes in place. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So another place, let's try is not a number. So this one, it just helps us to check if a value is not a number. Let's put that to work. So let result be equals to, it's not a number. So let's use hello. So let's console log result. So it's meant to display us a boolean, either true or false. True. Okay, let's comment this. So true. So because of hello, so yeah, because of this is not a number, and hello is not a number. So that's why it's showing us true. So let's try putting, let's say like 564. So it's going to show us false, yeah, because 564 is a number and what we're looking for is not a number. So this can be used in form validation to prevent users from submitting text when numbers are expected. So this is where you can that's where you can use this is not a number. So let's try another one. Let's try isFinite. This one just helps us to check if number is finite. So let's check to is finite, yeah. So we all know what finite numbers are. So then it's over 0. 10 over 0 which is equal to 10. So then you can select that, then you can select check. It meant to display us a boolean, either true or false. Yeah, false. Because 10 over 0 is not a final. Is not a finite. So yeah, that's why it's showing false. So it can be used for validating, like validating calculators. This is like validating calculations that results in infinity or undefined behavior, like in finance apps. So yeah, that's it. So let's try another one. So okay, let's try okay, you guys should watch this now. So let's console log this. Okay, so let's try sorry guys. Okay, so number. Okay, yeah, so this is just the main, doesn't have a variable or anything. We're just going to be checking that. So 25. Okay, so this is meant to show us a boolean or yeah, to true because 25 is an integer. I'm just trying to refresh you guys memory on. Okay, so 25 is an integer. That's why it's showing us true. So let's try this one. And just drop this down. Okay, so 25. Let's just add 0.5. Okay, so we want to check whether is yeah. So because of 25.5 is not an integer, it's showing us false because it is a float. So yeah, that's it. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try also log in the maximum number. So number dot it's going to give us the maximum value that I can. So we can offer on it to tell us what it means. Okay, so this max value helps us, it gives us the largest number that can be represented in JavaScript equal to 1.790.30. So that's just the calculation, that's how they get the largest number. So yeah, so this is the largest number that it can give us, and it keeps on going and going like that. That's why it's adding it. So let's try the minimum value. So it's just the same thing. So main this. Okay, yeah, so gives us the smallest number. Yeah, okay. The closest number to zero that can be represented in JavaScript. This one is equal to approximately 5.00 to 324. Yeah, so let's try that. So yeah, this is the closest number that it can give us. This is the closest number to zero that can be represented in JavaScript. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So let's try a different one. So this one I'm going to be trying mass. Let's just go down. Yeah. So let's number because we're going to be using it. Let's create a variable for this. Let's try 82.55678. Okay, so let's just okay. So let's try seal. Okay, let's console log then your math method dot seal. Then you call your number. Okay. Oh, sorry, there's not supposed to be an n here. Okay, so let's go over on this. So it returns the smallest integer greater than or equal to 2 to its numeric arguments. So it's going to return the smallest number of these arguments over here. Sorry. So 83. So because you're approximating it. So let's try flow. So this one is different. It's like almost the opposite. So this one gives us it returns the greatest integer less than. Right? This one gives us the greater than. This one gives us the less than. This one gives us the greater than. So that's just the main difference of it. So I'm guessing this one is going to give us like 82. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, it gives us the, and remember it's either less than or equal to. So it just gives us the equal to, which is 82. So yeah, that's it. So let's try another one. Let's try rounding the number. Yeah. So this one is supposed to round it to the closest number. Yeah, 82. Because when you're rounding this to the closest one number, it will become 82.5. So and 5 is large number, so it's going to add it to, yeah, you know how you do your math. So that's how you just got 83. So let's try now. Let's try this one. We don't need this one again. So let's just comment this. Okay, so any idea? So okay, let's try this one. So Math.random. Yeah, so Math.random. So I'm just going to be timesing this by 1000, or let's just leave it to 100. So yeah, that is it. So this one just it returns a random number between 0 and 1, and we're timesing it by 100. We're timing it by 100. We're calling it 100 times. But if it's like something like 10, it's going to be less than 10. If it's 100, if it's, let's say, 1000, it give us something that's less than 1000, but it's like greater than, like, let's say it's give us like something like 90. Okay, no, it's going to give us like something like 500 and something, 300 and something. So let's try that. Yeah, as you can see, 500 something, six. So it can even give us 900, but as long as it's 1000. So let's try 100 now. So it's going to give us like 90 something, 8 something, 7 something, 6 something, 20 something, yeah, like that. So that's just it, giving us random numbers. So let's try this one. Let's try maths.py. So this is the ratio of circumference of a circle of this diameter. That is 3.1 something. Yeah, 3.14. So this is just the pi of the number. You guys all did this in your secondary school or primary school. Yeah, you already know that. So let's try raised to power mass. Don't for Because anytime I was doing this, you have to call your mass. That's the mistake I almost did here. You have to call your mass. So power. This one takes two parameters. So two, let's say 6. So what this is just like 2 raised to power 6, which is 32, 64. Yeah, 2 raised to power 6 is 30 is 64. Yeah, so it's just raised to power. That's just the deal. So let's try this one. Let's try max, getting the maximum number. So this one takes as much. Let's see how many parameters this one takes. So it takes. So this max returns the larger of a set of supplied numeric expressions. So it will just help us, like when there are group of numbers. This one just helps us to find the highest number of all out of all of them. So let's try 6, 9, 9. Yeah. So I think that's enough. So let's just see what it gives us. 93. So it chose 93 because of 93 is the maximum number, the highest number that's in that group. So yeah, that's it. So let's try the opposite, which is, so just drop this down. then minimum. So I'm expecting 6, because 6 is the least, is the minimum number. So let's over on that. Returns the smaller of the set to applied numeric expressions. Right, this is the numeric expressions, and 6 is the smallest. So let's try another one. So let's try square rooting it. Dot square root. So the square root of 2 is 1.44, like that. So the square root of 2, that's just what it does. So let's try another one. Let's try absolute. I still remember absolute. So as I think this should just be a lot faster if I can just control C. Mass dot absolute. Yeah, then -5. So let's see what, like 5. It just gives us the absolute number. So okay, so it returns the absolute value of a number. So the value without, so like this just it's telling us that the value without regard to whether it's positive or negative. So it's returning the absolute value of a number. So for example, the absolute value of -5, yeah, like we just did over here, is the same as the absolute value of 5. So it's just the same thing, it's just giving us the absolute value whether positive or negative. So but let's try square root. So we're going to be finding the square root of numbers now. So let's find the square root of 16. We all know that is 4. Yeah, so it just helps us to find the square root. Return the square root of a number here, like I said. So let's try now. Let's try sine. We all did sine in our primary school, in our secondary school back then. So sine 2. So in order to just be more specific, like professional, let me just open up my calculator. Yeah, so yeah, this is my calculator. So sorry guys, so there'll be no need for that calculator. So okay, so the sign of 2, so returns the sign of a number, yeah. So it just returned the sign of 2, which is 0.900, yeah. Okay, so let's try tan. So the tan of, let's say, 27.098. Yeah, this is the tan of it. So let's try exponential 23. So it returns the base of natural logarithms to a power. Yeah, so this is it. Let's try something higher. So as the higher it goes, then the lower it gets. Yeah, so that's how it works. So let's try logarithm. It's 3. Okay, yeah. So it returns the base 10 logarithm of a number. So the base 10 logarithm of 83 is this. Okay, yeah. So that's it. So okay, that will be all for today, guys. So and that wraps up our deep dive into JavaScript number methods and math methods. So these methods are foundational to building real world applications where validation, formatting, and accurate calculations are mission critical. So practice this with small projects like building a calculator, making an expense tracker, validating online forms. Yeah. So if this video helped you out, be sure to like it, drop a comment, and hit subscribe to join us here at the Dev Lab, where future developers are made today. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, keep coding.